Could this be Europe's most delicious city? When you think of Hungary and food, the first thing that probably comes to mind is goulash. But trust me, there's a lot more to Hungarian food than goulash. Our family visited Budapest for the first time ever, and we found that it's a real hidden gem for food lovers. Whether you love street food or traditional dishes, cooking classes or food markets, you'll find that Budapest is a must-visit destination for any foodie.
So we're here at the Great Market Hall. We're about to do a food tour. We're going to try out 10 different foods that are unique to Budapest. So we're really excited. So come with us.
Hey guys, welcome to Breaking News with Sean. I have some very unfortunate news today. Look at my dress. And look at mommy's dress. Who wore it best? I think it was me. Wait, let me...
I would like to invite you for a welcome shot. That's the palinka, that's basically the Hungarian spirit, okay? So enjoy. And these are scone, we call them scones or savory biscuits.
It's nice, it's savory, a subtle flavor. It's a nice chaser to the palinka.
Okay, once again, you name it, they pickle it.
These baby watermelons.
It's basically not ripe.
Just keep biting, but keep it in.
It's not gonna taste like a pickled cucumber, you know?
Yeah.
It has its own flavor. Okay, so this is a plum, pickled plum with garlic inside. I'm gonna give that a try. So yeah, it ends up being a very delicate flavor. You don't, it's not a very strong plum taste, not a very strong garlic taste, but they kind of work together really well.
So these are basically all sausages in Hungary are called kolbász, okay? See, this is pork.
Oh,
All right.
really nice. Okay, pro tip for you guys, when you come to the Great Market Hall, you're gonna have to pay for the bathrooms regardless, so have some cash ready. Highly recommend you use the one upstairs, not the one on the main floor, because the upstairs one smells way better, trust me.
So this is the dried smoked sausage, because they now realize that the fat of the Mongolica pig has less cholesterol, so it's actually healthier. This is the most typical topping on it: sour cream cheese and maybe a garlic spread.
It's magnificent. It's tremendous. It's exhilarating. Guys, this is freaking huge. Let's try it a bit. Oh, whoa.
That's a very standard way to eat it, yeah. Chimney cakes are actually from Transylvania, but it was kind of exotic here in Hungary because Transylvania had been isolated for a good 100 years, and only after the fall of communism did this become popular in Hungary, but they embraced it here because it's from their lost Hungarian brothers and sisters, right? So they consider it very Hungarian. It's now available around most Christmas markets in Europe, and somehow it became very, very popular in Prague. Here in Hungary, you will see the locals, you know, grab a chimney cake on the way to work, and it just goes well with coffee or whatever. It's just a sweet snack, right? But in Prague, they started selling it as a Czech specialty, at least many of the, like I said, opportunistic vendors. And the locals hated. But in Prague, they started selling it as a Czech specialty, at least many of the, like I said, opportunistic vendors. And the locals hate it because it's not Czech, right? The tourists don't know any better, right? So I know tour guides in Prague who will be begging their guests, like, please don't get it here. This is not Czech. Go to Budapest. No, this is not us. Nobody's grandmother has ever made these in the Czech Republic, okay? At least in Hungary, it's Hungarian enough, right? It's from Transylvania. It's called Unicum.
Okay.
It was designed to cure the emperor's stomach at the time. And then it became a popular drink. They used to advertise it as a stomach strengthener. It has extracts of 50 different herbs. You should down it. This is the best down.
Good.
It's intense. Yeah.
Right? And this is what I wanted to show you. So this is the very first of the ruin bars that opened. And this opened for only one season, 19 years ago, okay? Because they thought it was gonna be torn down. It took the government years to decide, oh, it's a historic building, you cannot tear it down. You either have to restore it the way it was or at least maintain it from further decay. But by the time this verdict came out, the place was so popular that they said, okay, we'll maintain it. They didn't want to fix it up because that would lose its trademark now. They spray the walls with fixer solution so the plaster doesn't crumble, so the bricks don't fall out. Be happy now because the place attracts more than 1 million people per year.
We are heading down to breakfast, and then today we are going to do a little tour around the city on Pedicab. I think this tour, they call them TukTuks, I guess like Asia. So that should be a lot of fun. All right, you guys ready for this Pedicab tour?
Burger King fries in Budapest.
Yeah, we just needed the we just needed the bathroom, so we had to buy some fries for that.
Are way better.
Okay, so we just finished the TukTuk tour. That was really cool. We got to really see the whole of the city. Buda and Pest actually used to be two separate towns, and then at one point they were united into one, which makes Budapest. And actually when we were sailing into the city, you could really see the difference between the two sides. Buda is much more hilly, Pest is much more flat. And also during this tour, we crossed the bridge, and you definitely feel that it's definitely a very different vibe on either side. Buda feels a little bit more formal, I think a little bit more upscale, a little more quiet. Pest is much more lively, I would say, and apparently that's where all the good nightlife is. So now we are actually going to take a cooking class, which should be really fun, and we're gonna learn how to make some traditional Hungarian dishes.
Is a fruit brandy in Hungary, and it is made of only the fruit, not the added sugar, added honey, added alcohol. And there are some typical fruit: plum, pear, apricot, sour cherry, and apple.
And how do you toast in Hungary?
We say egészségedre.
Oh, okay, that's long.
Please.
Say it again.
Egészségedre.
Egészségedre.
Egészségedre. Perfect. Egészségedre.
All right. Serge knows Hungarian.
So we eat different soups every day for lunch, and the summertime is perfect because not too heavy. I pour some juice to this, and please stir this. Yes, please stir. Yes.
All right, let's taste this thing.
It is boiling.
It's like candy.
So the Hungarian pancake is similar to the crepes, the French version, so but it's a little bit different. Add the lemon zest, the half lemon zest, only the yellow part because the white is bitter. Thank you so much.
So this is walnut, and this is also walnut.
Walnut, yes.
Ground
This
up.
is a ground.
Smelling so good.
Like empty.
It's bald. I am standing in Liberty Square Park, and this is a very interesting part of Budapest because, as we learned from our photographer, Bam, that we worked with this morning for a little photo shoot around the city, he's a political journalist, so he has a lot of insight into the history and kind of politics of this country. One thing that's interesting about Hungary is that it has ties to a lot of these different powers. But it always seems to kind of try and pick the right side, but not always successfully. So in this single park, you will find in the middle of it this memorial commemorating the Soviet soldiers who lost their lives while liberating Hungary from Nazi Germany. Randomly around it, you have a couple of statues of US presidents like Ronald Reagan and George Bush Sr. And then at the very front of the park, you have this monument where it's essentially a woman who symbolizes Hungary, and then you see this eagle kind of about to land on top of her very menacingly. And that monument was put up actually fairly recently. And I guess the symbolism is that Hungary is sort of the innocent, and Nazi Germany sort of descended upon it. What happened here in terms of the Holocaust is not Hungary's fault. So many people took this monument to be a little bit of trying to rewrite history and to minimize the Hungarian government's complicity in the atrocities that happened. So all along the front of the monument, along the fence, you can see a bunch of photos that people have put up of their ancestors, their relatives who were killed in the Holocaust. And it's basically a protest against the monument, a protest against the message that the Hungarian government wasn't at fault, and essentially pointing out that, yeah, actually, you were a part of it, you picked a side. And unfortunately, the side that you picked put you on the wrong side of history. So nowadays, it seems like Hungary is still kind of trying to straddle both sides, so to speak. The government still seems to have close ties with Russia, but on the other hand, they are also military allies with the US. So this little park is just a very interesting way to encapsulate all of those complexities in one place. Budapest really surprised us. We were impressed with its thriving culinary culture, its fantastic street food scene, and its incredible food markets. If you're looking to experience a new culinary destination, Budapest should definitely be at the top of your list. Click that video right there to find out why Munich might be Europe's most livable city. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.